Hello, comics and pop culture people. It's your friend Brian, aka Bigby Mcfly, and today we've got a rarity on my channel, a good old-fashioned unboxing video. I don't do a lot of online shopping. I don't usually buy comics through the mail, but I did. So let's check it out, see what I got. See you guys on the inside. Hello, my friends. It's Brian, aka Bigby Mcfly. I wanted to share with you guys a comic unboxing. I don't do a lot of that because I don't usually order a lot of anything online. I'm not that kind of guy. I usually do all my shopping in person, and I like to do a lot of treasure hunting, or poking around garage sales and junk shops and see what I can find there, and doing those kind of things, like the haul videos and that kind of stuff. So but I've been enjoying watching one of my good friends, Dave, over at West Coast Avengers channel, and he's had a few sales that he's had some things that I thought looked like a good deal, and so I figured well, share with you what I picked up from him. So without further ado, let's get started. So get a real good deal on some Infinite Crisis books. First appearance of Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Yeah, the trailer looks pretty good, and figured the price he had him at, why not pick him up? This one didn't come from him, but I'm gonna throw it in here to show you guys. This is a Jim Lee cover for his first appearance, and then I thought this one was kind of neat. This is a second printing sketch cover by Perez, and just thought that was a cool cover to pick up, and it's also first appearance of Jaime. So there we go. And I've been kind of slapping myself on the wrist because I'm trying to focus a little more this year on having a better approach to my collecting. I want to focus on getting keys and first appearances. I'd really like to get an Amazing Fantasy 15 at some point this year. I sold a whole bunch of my Magic cards to start bringing together some cash, which is how I was able to pick up some of these books from Dave. And so I really want to focus more on key books. And some of these aren't as key as I would like. So this one it's a key. It's Miss Marvel 16, first cameo appearance of Mystique. She's a pretty major character, and X-Men is one of my favorite books. It's my jam. When I first started collecting, getting back into collecting, I was doing a lot of key collecting and not really collecting runs. And I saw a video by Jim over at Bronzeville Comics where he got a huge chunk of the Byrne Claremont X-Men, and I felt that little twinge inside, that, hey, I want that thing. So I was like, So I decided that that's a run that I need to complete. It was a big important book for me when I was a kid, one of my favorite books reading growing up, and so I'm going to start trying to complete that run. But everything else I'm going to try to do, major first appearances and first issues. So going along with that, we've got kind of a major first appearance. I wish I would have picked this up a little while ago in a higher grade. First appearance of Gamora was pretty affordable not too long ago. That's Strange Tales number 180, Adam Warlock. So first appearance of Gamora, and it's a mid-grade copy, but happy to put it in the collection, and probably look to upgrade that at some point. And then another one of those books, I was just talking about that, what's Brandon over at Mon Comics call it, the side quest, the X-Men. So picked up a copy of X-Men 111 in a pretty decent grade. So Byrne Claremont issues, and one of the ones I'm happy to add into the PC. All right, here goes when I actually had sold the Magic cards and had started picking up some books. So Let's see. So Dave had, for those of you who aren't familiar, Dave had a thing he just did called DavengerCon, which was a 2-day long show. Basically, he was on the air for, I think, 11 hours a day with other folks selling books. It was a big giant claim sale, as well as having some big guests. Jim Rugg was one of the ones, and the creator of Lady Mechanica. I can't think of his name at this time, but he was on there as well. You guys can comment below and tell me his name. I'm just totally spacing it right now. So, and to bring that up, I'd like to see some more comments from you guys. I know I talk a mile a minute and I don't leave a lot of space for saying that kind of stuff, but I do love reading you guys' comments, and I'd really like to hear more from you guys. So yeah, if you want to comment on the books that I picked up and my plans and goals for the year, that'd be great. Love to hear from you guys. So another mid-grade copy, 6.5, 7.0. But this is Tales of Suspense number 75, and it is the first appearance of Peggy Carter. So later who becomes Captain Carter. So I thought that was kind of a cool book to pick up, and got it for a steal of a deal, and I was real happy to add that one into the collection. So that kind of goes along with the keys and first appearances, although not, a real major first appearance, although it could be with the What If show, and if they are going to transition any of that into the live action. I mean, she was in the Multiverse of Madness, and I thought she was great in that. It was really sad the way they treated those characters. I wish they would have done them more justice. I think that those characters would have survived a little better and worked more as a team rather than all going one-on-one against Scarlet Witch. But who am I to say? Marvel knows what they're doing, right? So yeah, comment below if you guys enjoyed the way that they treated the Illuminati characters in Multiverse of Madness. So here we go with another X-Men issue adding into the collection. X-Men 106, another mid-grade copy, but for a real good price, and it's a good reader copy. Not necessarily going for, I have been picking up some slabs, was going that route early on, was going for some higher grade copies. I was going to try to go 8.0 or above on all of the issues. We'll see if that pans out, but I do want to be able to read it. I know I can always read it online, but it's nice to be able to hold and have that tactile feel of the books in your hand and the smell of the books. And I don't know if you guys can relate, but I know I've heard from a lot of people that you kind of get that nostalgia as you smell the books, you read the books. I remember we used to go into this old bookstore called, I believe it was Armchair Books, and this place had just these tiny little alleyways that you could walk through. It was so small and tight, and you were trying to get through, and at the end of certain aisles they had just boxes and boxes of comics, and that smell of those musty old books just takes me back. And we found some great books back then when we were kids. So I actually found they used to put little tags with paper that said trade this book at Armchair Books inside the books, and the other day I opened up a book and flipped it open, and one of those little tags fell out, and I was just like instantly transported back to going into those books with my buddy Pete and his family, and we used to go over there and hunt for comics. So yeah, it's amazing how those little things take you back. But moving right along, so it's a good one. X-Men number 97, another mid-grade copy. Again, you guys are probably going, well, what's the big deal? Why'd you sell all your magic cards? This isn't breaking the bank here. We'll see here in just a minute. But 97, that's not a cheap issue, and again, got a really great deal. I really appreciate Dave and his grading and his flexibility on his prices. And you guys, if you get a chance, he does a show West Coast Wednesday. This is claim sale every Wednesday night, Pacific time. I believe it starts 6 o'clock Pacific time, I want to say. Might be misquoting that, but then he also does a show called Sunday Sit Down, where he does read-throughs of books. They just did the Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man Torment storyline with McFarlane. They did the Weapon X book. what are they doing? God Country, I believe, here at the end of the month. Might be tonight, actually, as I'm filming this video. So check him out. West Coast Avengers. He has a great sense of humor. A real quirky guy, but a cool guy. Hoping to hang out with him sometime soon. We're talking about going and doing some comic hunting together and seeing what we can find and dig up and what kind of mischief we can get into. So here we go, X-Men 97. All right, so here we go. So he had up on his wall. I've never owned a copy of this book. I remember when I was younger, I had a friend who was kind of a mentor, older gentleman who was from our church, who would hang out with a couple of us other nerdy kids who liked to collect comics. And oh God, we gave him the business when he picked up this book. We were like, why would you want to pick that up? And I don't know if you guys will be able to relate, but back in the day, the Avengers characters were not cool. Everything back then was X-Men, X-Men, X-Men. And, you know, so he was so ecstatic, he picked up a copy for 40 bucks and we were just giving him the business. And here I am now, you know, many years later, paying 10 times that amount for Iron Man #1. So, it's a 6.5 copy, real nice looking copy. Looks like it might have some pressable defects, so maybe I'll be able to get it a little higher than that. I was real happy to pick it up from Dave, and glad that he was willing to let it go for 400. So there you go, Iron Man #1, a nice looking grade. So yeah, I've never owned that book, even though I've owned 2 comic shops and for 20 plus years, never owned that book in person. And speaking of books that I've also never owned, I owned the majority of this run. I did not have most of the single digit issues. Dave had this one up on his wall. Also, when I shot out an offer and he accepted Amazing Spider-Man #7. So I don't have a lot of the early issues of Spider-Man right now. I've got a lot of sub 100, but not a lot of the stuff sub 50, and definitely not much sub 25. So this is a pretty cool book for me, and it's a mid-grade copy, a 5.0, 5.5 copy. Got some pressable defects. I'm hoping to send it in and get it cleaned and pressed, and hopefully get a little higher grade on it. But I got a really good price on it from Dave, and was real happy to pick it up. So, welcome addition to the collection. I don't know, this Spider-Man is such a static pose for Spider-Man. He looks like he's got a cramp or something. A lot of those older poses, you know, you're so used to seeing the way that McFarlane and all these other guys would pose Spider-Man, so flexible. In some of the older pictures, it just looks like, almost looks like somebody posed an action figure and took a picture. So there you go. So I'd love to hear from you guys, comments on what you think about my pickups. And again, thanks for watching. And again, I want to remind all you guys to share your love of comics with everybody that you come across. You never know if you're going to inspire somebody else to begin collecting, and that may lead to a huge, great new friendship for you and someone to trade with and hunt books with. Or it could be that they know somebody, or somebody that they are in contact with has some older comics that they've just been laying around gathering dust, and there may be some comic book gold in there. So you never know. Share that love of comics, and you never know where it may take you. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.